Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to our Wednesday morning trading room. My name is Eric Senft. I'm going to be your host here for the morning session. A very quick overview of what you're looking at here for those of you new to our trading room. What you're looking at here is the Diversified Trading System, or DTS for short. It's diversified because we're looking at the market from three different points of view. Here in the top left, we have the Hawk Scalper. Top right is the Falcon Swing Trader. Bottom left is the Eagle Trend Trader. And the bottom right is the latest addition to the DTS family. This is the Raptor. The Raptor is actually a hybrid. It incorporates elements of the Hawk, the Falcon, and the Eagle all into one chart. Regardless of the tool that you're using, all the signals develop the same way. First, we're going to get a warning dot along with an audio alert, and then when the signal parameters are met, we're going to get a triangle and a hash mark. But as you'll see, not all signals are created equal. For instance, some of these signals that are developing here on yellow bars on the Hawk, we're not going to take because yellow bars are very neutral in the Hawk. Ideally, we're going to be looking for setups like this, like what we refer to as the first micro-macro cross, which is when the thin line crosses over the thick line. And it's the first signal where everything is in sync. So we have green bars, green trend lines, green filter, and a green signal. You can see that had some very nice follow through to it. Here's a first micro-macro cross to the downside. And you can see that had some nice follow through also. All right, so the market just opened up. Oh dear, while I was showing you that, we had actually a trend change signal develop here in the Falcon. Let's see, has that reached our profit objective yet? Not quite. I'm going to be talking a little bit about this tool that you see me using here on the right-hand side. This is called the Trade Manager. This is perhaps the single most important piece of trading software you can own as a retail trader. This little piece of software right here actually allows you to trade like Wall Street trades. When Adam first told me about his intention to build the Trade Manager, I didn't think it was possible, not for the retail trader, not for our desktop computers, but he got it done. Actually, the fellow who programs the Trade Manager, Adam, likes to boast that his day job is programming cruise missile guidance systems. And no, he's not joking. That's what the guy actually does. He programs missile guidance systems for the U.S. government. And he's also an avid trader, and he did the programming here on the Trade Manager. So you know the programming is really, really tight. What the Trade Manager does, there's two components. There's this risk component here, and what that allows you to do is it allows you to cap your risk. So regardless of where you place your stop loss, the risk is going to stay the same. So here we have risk of $330. If we place our stop up here, a little bit of a rounding error, but it's still about $330 to $400. That's 2% of my trading capital. What has changed? Well, the quantity has changed, right? Here we have a quantity of 2 contracts. If I make the trade tighter, we have in this case, a quantity of 4. But the risk is always capped at 2%. So what that does is you can never risk more than you can afford to lose. Very, very important concept. The other component of the trade manager is what we call the profit manager, and it is this portion right here where we have 16 different stop strategies to choose from. All of them are customizable, and they're displayed as these blue dots. So you can see I can change the parameters if I want to make it a little bit more conservative, or maybe even a little bit more aggressive. I can do all that from here. What happens is when the trade is engaged, so let's say I set up a trade like this. Once the trade is engaged, once it goes live, the trade manager will automatically roll your stops according to the stop strategy. Which means that the trade is pretty much hands-off at this point. You can look around for other opportunities. You can, take other trades. You can pretty much just put this one on the shelf. You don't need to worry about it anymore. All right, so there's the overview. There's also going to be some system add-ons that I'm going to point out as we go on, and hopefully we can even pick up a decent trade or two. The charts I'm focusing on here are the NASDAQ. I'm also following soybeans and crude oil on my other monitor, but please don't be shy. Ask questions, request markets. If they're available in my data feed, I will most certainly bring them up for you. All right, well, we've got an opportunity kind of brewing here in the crude oil market here on the Falcon. We had a trend change signal back here during the overnight session. With the Falcon, we're going to concentrate here on our trend line color. And when the trend line shifts color, that first signal where everything is in sync, so we've got a red trend line, red bars, red signal, red filter, that tends to have some pretty good follow through. We're coming back now with what we call a trend line touch signal. The market has retraced back to the trend line. Now we're producing another signal. My problem is that we're back down here at these lows, and I'm not convinced yet that crude oil is not just moving into a sideways trading range, which would be very much like crude oil given that it's inventory today. So let's see if I can afford this trade up there. No, I can't. See, there's the other component of Trade Manager is it doesn't allow you to take a trade you can't afford the risk on. All right, what if I tried to risk it here? Oh, it's a little cozy, but I can take that. Okay, I'll tell you what. I'm going to take that trade just so I have a trade to show you. It's not one that's giving me a warm, fuzzy feeling, but we'll follow it along anyhow. While we're waiting for the crude oil trade here, you've no doubt noticed these lines that are printing here. These lines are the ultimate support and resistance suite. These are lines from yesterday. These are lines for today. The ultimate support and resistance suite forecasts the support and resistance levels for today's trading. No, they are not floor pivots. No, they are not Fibonacci retracements. They're actually much better, and I'm not just saying that, they really are much better. All modesty aside. The three lines you see here, the gold line and the two blue lines, this is the median line, primary resistance, and primary support. These three lines kind of set the tone for the day. Once the market gets below there, see, we had yesterday during the overnight, the market rallied up, took a really nice bounce off of the secondary resistance, came down and just fell right through the primary support and the median line. That's a little bit odd. Normally we would anticipate a little bit of a reaction there, and you can see they tried. See these candles here with these little itty-bitty wicks to them? They tried, but they were unsuccessful, and they just fell right down here to the secondary support zone, where they finally found some support and then bounced and kind of settled there for the remainder of the session. So that was yesterday, and then they fell off again quite sharply. Today, they haven't really set their agenda, if you will. We've got the market pretty much pinched right now between primary resistance and the primary support, although they are perhaps signaling a sell signal here, a short signal. So I'm going to put that on the shelf. If that order fills, I will demonstrate how the automated stops work. And we're still kind of waiting for things to come around in the NASDAQ here. Soybeans putting in a little bit of a rally. Just looking here at the Falcon Swing Trader again. So on crude oil, we're looking at that short signal. This is what the signal looks like when we get a buy signal. This is here on the soybean market. Notice the trend line change in color. So we're going from red to green. And you could have considered this signal here your trend change signal, or you had a subsequent signal if you were unsure. So we got two signals printing relatively close to each other. Let's see if we've hit our profit objective there yet. Yeah. So on the soybean market, we just hit our profit target, and now we're trading through the primary resistance. One thing I should point out is that the support and resistance lines, these are what we call a system add-on. In other words, they're a standalone. You can use it on any chart. You can use it on a 5-minute chart. You can use it on tick charts, volume charts, whatever you would like. Okay, so crude oil now moving away from my signal, so I'm going to cancel that signal. That was crude oil there on the Falcon, so we'll put that away for now. Crude inventory in about 45 minutes time. Still waiting for a decent opportunity here on the NASDAQ. But if we don't get a decent signal printing, I will take a signal just so you can see how the software works, just so you know. The Raptor, as I mentioned, is a blend of the other trading systems, so it incorporates elements of the Hawk, the Falcon, and the Eagle. The first question people usually ask is, can I change the bar color? Yeah, you can change the bar color. You can see we've borrowed here from the Eagle. It's got the Eagle cloud. The way the bar colors print and the signal generation borrows heavily from the Falcon. And here too, it's not that we chase every single signal. Rather, we're looking for what we refer to as high probability signals. The signal right here is what we call a cloud crossover signal. So the clouds cross, the market retreats into the cloud. We look for the clouds to bounce the prices out and produce a signal. And you can see that had some decent follow through. Where we're at right now, well, we'll see. We'll see whether this works into a cloud crossover. Normally when the cloud is twisted here like a rope, you don't have a whole lot of signal generation going on. And you can see that still we've got a lot of yellow bars, a lot of overlap. This tool right here, this is called the Geiger counter. This is another one of these system add-ons. Yes, Terrence is asking, are the ultimate support and resistance lines a standalone indicator? Yes, they are. And so is this tool here, the Geiger counter. This is also a standalone. The Geiger counter is essentially a tape reader, and it gives you a visual of the time in sales. So you can see here the history, the last few minutes of the trading activity, fairly balanced. A little bit of a spike here through the buy side, but not substantial. It looks like the sellers pretty much offset it. Then we have this needle, which changes color as the market becomes more bullish or more bearish. We get the current time in sales printing, and then we got this dial that you see flipping back and forth here. Now this dial is kind of interesting because when the market pulls hard to one side and sticks, and it will hold there for like 4 or 5 seconds, that shows you that the buyers or the sellers, whatever side it pulls to, are chewing through all those orders, and we can anticipate that the market's going to move higher or lower as a result. So that's very helpful if we've got a signal. Let's say we're going to print a sell signal here. I want to see the dial pull here hard to the short side and hold and hold and hold for like 4 or 5 seconds. Likewise, if we're in a trade and let's say we've got a fair amount of open profit and we're wondering, well, should I get my stops up a little bit tighter? Watching the Geiger counter can give you some valuable information. If we're long and all of a sudden we see the Geiger counter keep pulling here to the short side and holding and holding and holding, then we know there's a pretty good indication that the market's at least going to make a short-term move lower. In which case we may choose to go with a more aggressive stop strategy. Okay, now some of you probably have already noticed that this trade manager here on the right looks a little different than the other trade manager you saw, and that's because this one is called the Trailblazer. What makes the Trailblazer different from the trade manager is that the Trailblazer is a one-click entry system. So you set your number of contracts up here, you set their profit objectives here. So let's say, let's swing for the fences here. We'll set a 20-tick target for one contract. I'll have a second contract with an open profit target. So we'll have a runner. I'll select a stop strategy. And now all I need to do is hit my buy or sell market buttons. Now there's no signal here just yet. I think we're going to see a little bit of an uptick. So I'm going to hit the buy market button just so I can show you this. So you hit the buy market button and notice I automatically have a stop. I'm currently running a break-even trigger. So I've got my auto break-even. And I have my profit target for my first contract. The Trailblazer came about because some of our owners were trading some very fast markets, and they said, can you give me a one-click entry tool? Because with the trade manager, I have to go click for my entry, click for my stop loss, click to submit the order, and the market's already moved past. Now, I should point out you can also manually set profit targets. So if you say you want to set your profit target up here, or if you're running the support and resistance lines and you want to use the next level as a profit objective. All right, we actually have a signal here. This is called our first micro-macro cross signal. I'm going to try to follow this one, see if we get a little bit of an uptick. The market's still very, very neutral this morning. And what I'll do is we'll start with a swing low. No, I'd like to keep it a little further back. All right, we'll stay with what we got here for now. Okay, so we've printed the warning dot. We've got the triangle hash mark. This is one of our higher probability signals that we're looking for. It's called the first micro-macro crossover signal. Lauren is asking, can the trade manager do a one-click also? Yes, it can. So for instance, let's say I've got my stop strategy enabled. See, I've got it turned on. It will default to this quantity up here. So currently it's set at 1. If I hit the buy market button, hold on. All right, just a second here. There we go. Okay, so I hit my buy market button. I've got my long position. I've got my auto break even. I've got my stop strategy. However, I don't have my profit target. So the big difference between the trade manager and the trailblazer is the lack of a preset profit objective. If you're just going to hit the buy and sell market buttons. Still not sure why the programmer chose to include the buy, ask, buy, bid, sell, ask, sell, bid, but whatever. So yes, you can one click if you're in a hurry, if it looks like the market's going to bolt on you. You can certainly just hit the buy or sell market buttons. All right, so let's see if we get a little bit of an uptick here. Personally, I think the NQ is going to try to go lower, but that may be a little bit more of a personal preference. I try not to second guess what the markets are doing. That can be dangerous sometimes. So we're nearing the top of the hour. Very, very tight opening range this morning. If we get filled here, what I'll do is I'm going to delete the profit objective just so I can show you a little better how these stop strategies work, but we'll keep in mind that the profit objective is around 47.76. Oh, I know the action here. Almost can't contain myself. Got another trend change signal here on the Falcon. See the trend line changing color? Here's the up portion that kind of changes the trend line color. Here's the sellers trying to fight it back. And here come the buyers again. So we could already be long on the Falcon. A nice little rejection here, a nice little bounce off the primary support line. Yeah, Tony says what a difference a day makes. Yesterday, my goodness, it was almost like real trading yesterday. All right, so we got filled here now on our long position, and I'm going to disable my profit objective. I'm debating leaving my break even in. I'm gonna take my break even trigger off. That's my auto break even. We're gonna see if we just can't get this up here a little bit so that I can show you how the stop strategies work? Here, maybe we'll start with something a little bit more conservative, like the chandelier strategy. Yeah, that'll work. Let's go with the chandelier strategy. So watch what's going to happen here. I'm going to turn the strategy on. It's going to grab my stops and roll it here according to these blue dots. See that? And so now it will manage my position via the chandelier strategy that we would have tagged our auto break even, and we're just kissing our profit target here at 47.76. No, get up there. Well, we don't have the break even trigger in play, but oh, would have tagged us out at break even. I think they slipped us a tick, the stinkers. Yes, I just got a message here from Adam reminding me that if anybody's interested in the current promotion, there's a back to school special. For the current promotion, use the word school, SCHOOL, in all caps. And you can get 20% off anything at Indicator Warehouse. However, that promotion ends tonight. It's only good until September 1st. So if you're interested in something like the support and resistance suite, or the Geiger counter, or perhaps even the whole DTS package or Raptor, here's a great opportunity. And I've got a link here if you'd like more information. There we go. All right, well, we're just kind of trying to nurse this trade a little bit higher. All right, we'll put that on the shelf for now. No real signal here in the Eagle Trend Trader just yet. Very, very sideways looking market. When we have a market which is sideways, what we try to do is we allow the market to get outside this trading range, prove to us it can stay out, and then look for the corresponding buy or sell signals. The markets will perform this little breakout and retest 99% of the time. How do I know? Well, if the market's in a trading range, we've got sellers kind of selling the top third or quarter. We've got buyers buying the bottom third or quarter. So if the market breaks down through here, we're going to have buyers buying it all the way down here until they finally really dig in and bounce the market higher, trying to get it back into that trading range. Conversely, on the upside, as it breaks out, sellers are going to be selling all the way here. They don't care that it's broken the high around 47.80. They'll just see that as a better selling opportunity. So the sellers will keep shorting and shorting and shorting, and then look for this leg right here. Now, when the sellers get this retest, depending where they actually sold from, many of them will get out. Some of them will get out at break even, thinking, oh, I got in on the wrong side of the trade. Those that sold up here will get out with profit. But you're also going to get the buyers starting to pile on. The buyers that broke out through the high here are going to see this as another good buying opportunity, right? They're going to say, oh, the ones that got in late, they're going to say, oh, we have a second chance to buy around 47.80. So they will, and then the DTS package is going to produce a buy signal once all those parameters are met. But so long as you're trying to trade within this range, things get a little bit unpredictable. So, like I said, I will point out some signals to you this morning. I'll show you how some of these things work. However, we're going to get our best signals once we're actually outside of that trading range. All right, so our hawk trade getting a little traction now. Our first micro macro cross hitting our high probability profit target. Let's see if we can manage this trade a little bit higher still as we get to that 47.80 zone. Getting any other signals? Well, we had the Falcon signal here, so we've had a couple Falcon signals so far. One to short here, and now we've got a buy signal. Has that reached its profit target? Oh, just about, just kissing the high probability profit target. Soybeans getting a lot quieter after their brisk little rally. Crude oil still kind of flip-flopping a little bit. No doubt holding out for the inventory report coming out at the bottom of the hour. You can see we're starting to introduce some yellow bars now on our scalping tool, our hawk scalper here in crude oil. All right, well, kind of the top end of that range or near, close enough anyway, that we're going to get some selling going on. The Eagle, our trend trading tool, the markets haven't really been trending that well of late, although you can see there's a little bit of follow through here and there. This cloud or band, I hesitate to call it a cloud because everybody thinks it's an Ichimoku cloud. No, it's not. But this band gives us our directionality, and then we look actions to the hard edge of the trading band. This signal that you see right here, this red bar with a buy signal, that's actually one of our high probability signals here on the Eagle. You can see that had some pretty decent follow through. Tony is asking, Eric, is that a 4-arrow consolidation working in soybeans, considering there was a spike between them? Let's take a look. Oh yeah, I see what you're seeing there, Tony. So Tony's looking at this and asking, is that a 4-arrow consolidation? That's one of our high probability signals. Well, you know, Tony, even if it's not a 4-arrow consolidation, it is a macro pullback signal. The problem with the soybean trade is, where in the world am I going to cover this? There's not a lot of structure down here. ideally you'd want to cover at least to the crest here in the macro line. Or if you're just going to throw a onesie on it, just try to cover it as deep as you can. Doggone it. Shoot. Is that all I can do? I guess so. But regarding your question about the four arrow consolidation, we know the four arrow consolidation is a consolidation pattern. So to that end, the best four arrow consolidations are going to have a bull flag shape to them. However, as you know, sometimes they do get that sideways pattern going on. So yes, I would still consider this to be a four arrow consolidation. The problem I'm having with it is, where do I cover this scoundrel? All right, they're plotting higher. Oh, see the Geiger counter? It's pulled hard over here. Ooh, now they're swinging the other way. Okay, it didn't stick to the short side, so spoke too soon. Oh, just see how it was sticking there to the short side. You may get a little bit of a downtick here. And here they come. So we'll see how deep they can actually retrace. As I mentioned before, the beauty of using the trade manager is that my risk is capped right from the very beginning. So worst case scenario, if I didn't adjust these stops at all, and where was my stop? Down here somewhere? If I didn't adjust the stop at all and I got tagged way down here, I still haven't lost more than I can afford. I've only lost 2% of my capital. Yes, it's unpleasant. But if you're trading a $20,000 account, that's $400 max that you're going to lose. And what that does is, well, $400, that's not even going to put a dent in your $20,000 account. So you're not going to ruin yourself. And it takes a lot of pressure out of the trade. I find that knowing I've capped my risk to an amount I can afford, and you can adjust this number. If 2% is too dear to you, dial it down to 1.5% or 1%, or 1/4%, or whatever amount you're comfortable with. But it allows you to keep a level head when you're trading. I find I can make better decisions because I'm not stressing about losing the money. And you stress about losing money, well, not only because it's unpleasant, but because you know intuitively that you've got too much money on the line. Now, on a day like today, I would strongly recommend taking profit on target. I thought I might be able to run this one out just a little bit. I thought we would see a run to the 47.80 area, but now I don't think so. Maybe we'll go with a little bit more aggressive stop strategy here, where the ATR, nope, that's, what if I dial it back? There we go. Let's go with that one. So that's all I'm going to give them, just this right here. Go ahead, stop me out. If they fail here on the lows, then you can tag me out. All right, macro pullback signal, another one of our high probability signals. See, all I had to do is threaten them a little bit. Come on, get above 47.76. That's been a stumbling block for us for the last 15-20 minutes here. Come on, get up there. Don't make me pull out the magic mouse. There we go. We saw 76. Let's get 76 quarter. There we go. All right, now 76 half. No, you're going the wrong way. All right, I don't like to do this, but I'm gonna try to demonstrate here. So I'm gonna pull out the magic mouse. We're gonna force the market higher. So in case you don't know, if you can move the market a little higher by pushing it higher with your mouse. Come on, get up there. Get going. Sometimes it takes a couple minutes to kick in. Come on, get up there. So a little bit of a double top type thing going on here. Uh-oh, magic mouse isn't working today. Let's go. Come on, let's go. All right, well, they tagged me out here, so they hit the stop. They're now into yellow bars. The point is that, we could have just left that trade alone, not even worried about it. Now we're producing a red bar red bar buy signal, which we may have an opportunity to short, but we'll put that away for now, as it seems as though the market is content to move sideways. Yeah, Terry says my mouse might be broken. Yeah, usually it works. I'm waiting for somebody to email Adam and ask for the magic mouse. I want that magic mouse that Eric has. Because I know he's going to write me and say, what are you telling the people in the trading room? Okay, so you can see the Geiger counter here, full on sell mode, or it was a second ago, where the needle was actually turned red. And now we're trying to see a little bit more buying. Oh no, they're still fairly even. Like I said, when that dial pulls and sticks for like 4 or 5 or even 6 seconds, that's, oh, see what it was doing there to the short side? That's a little bit more significant. That shows us a lot of buying or selling pressure. A lot of times the markets will react after hitting their high probability targets as well. So here on the Falcon, we have the buy signal. The market goes up, tags the high probability target, and then starts to reverse. So that's not unusual. And now we're working a possible sell signal. So we've got the trend line changing color. Here's the down portion. Only 1 bar up. We're printing currently a warning dot with a red bar. No signal just yet. right, we've got about 15 minutes before our crude inventory report, which is going to come out at the bottom of the hour. Let's see, the overnight highs. Crude's got a very, very tight little trading range going on today, and I may end up bracketing that. Again, more out of demonstration purposes, but oh no, you know what? Well, I know what I'm going to do. Okay. The trade manager also has this OCO function. OCO standing for one cancels other. And when you've got a market that's in a sideways range, you know, like this one, nice little tight little channel, you can bracket that range to buy above or sell below. So that's what we're going to attempt to do here with crude oil. It looks like this morning's ranges are topping out at around 46.10, the bottom being near this old support from the overnight. So what you can do is to add the OCO orders, you right click on your chart and place your order. Now, these orders are live the moment you put them on your chart, so I tend to place them away and then drag them to where I want them to be, and I'm thinking I'm going to use the median line and the secondary support zone, because the market's pretty much skewered by the primary support here on crude oil. So I'm thinking that might be a good way to go. Now, let's see, what kind of stop strategy can I use? Ooh, I don't want that. That's too close to my entry. What may happen is if the market rallies and fills my order here, if prices are moving really, really fast, it may confuse the software just enough to stop me out, because it's going to place my stop right here also where those blue dots are. So let's maybe go with an ATR and let's see what that does. Oh, shoot, same place. All right, let's go with the percentage strategy. That's a little better. All right, I can live with that. That's a little bit more middle of the road. And then as the trade progresses, I can always adjust my stop strategy. I don't have to stay with this one for the duration. But you should always, always, always have a stop in play to protect yourself. All right, it's not the best setup, but we are producing a first micro macro cross signal lower. So let me hurry and get this trade in play so we can watch it. So we had a first micro macro cross higher. So that went from here, rallied up, hit our profit target. Now we're going to get a signal to short. Again, it just kind of reinforces the fact that the market is rather sideways right now. This is still a first micro macro cross signal, even though we're producing another set of warning dots. Oh boy, they are dragging their feet today. So what we were looking at earlier in the Falcon, possible trend change signal has since voided. Now the Hawk into yellow bars, so we can cancel that. We actually do have a green bar sell signal, but you know what? I may look to buy the green bar sell instead of shorting it. If we get it. Currently we just have the warning dot. When the signal is complete, we get the triangle and the hash mark. So that's what I'm waiting for. Nuts. And now I went into yellow bars, so I don't even have the green bar sell signal. The green bar sell signal tends to develop near the end of a trend. So here's a green bar sell. And the nice thing about the green bar sell is that if the conditions are right, you can short it. Or you can, it's also our counter trend signal. You can look to buy the failure of the signal. So you got a couple different opportunities. I thought we were going to see a green bar sell here, in which case I would have set up to buy the failure, but something went out of sync and now we're into yellow bars, so I'm just going to ignore that for the moment. Couldn't be more neutral today. All right, about 5 to 6 minutes time before the crude inventory report, so we'll go back to that in a moment. No decent Raptor signal this morning. As I mentioned, the Raptor trading band just twisted like a rope, bar colors all over the place, filter waffling back and forth. Crude oil also very sideways. All right, are we going to get a trend change signal higher now? Maybe. I'm watching, we're getting another opportunity at a green bar sell, maybe. See, we've got the warning dot, the red warning dot. There's a glimmer of a green bar. Oh, it's on the cusp. Keeps going back and forth. Good morning, Jim. Jim says the advanced decline numbers are a little bit on the bearish side. We got 1,050 on the buy and about 1,650 on the sell. I wouldn't be surprised to see a little bit of a rally here. Just because. How did one fellow put it? The stock market the stock market moves in the direction that will cost the most people money, or something to that effect. just a lot of sideways stuff. I can't even demo a signal for you. There's nothing going on. Well, crude inventory is going to be out here in a few minutes, so we may as well bring that over. So here's the Falcon trade that we were looking at. I've got my auto stops enabled. I've got my OCO order. I'm going to buy on a break here above the median line. That's this gold line. I'm going to sell a move below the secondary support. You could bracket it much, much tighter if you wanted. The other strategy for crude inventory is to allow the market to break out. Let the report hit the floor, let the market break out, and then see what kind of range develops. In about 30 seconds to a minute after the report is released, you're going to get a type of range, and then you can bracket that. Geiger counter, here we go. We'll put the Geiger counter on so we can watch the order flow. So right now the Geiger counter fairly evenly balanced. You can see it's spending a little time here on the buy side, and then it'll flip over a little time to the short side. Oh, they're actually loading up a little bit, it seems. The order flow itself, mostly small stuff. Oh, I saw a couple of 50s and 60s fly through there, but still kind of onesie-twosie kind of stuff. When it gets closer to the inventory release, we're going to see some very big numbers come through here. Oh, Jim says daily 50 period moving average just down here at the secondary support of 45.55. Well, are you watching the order flow, Jim? Jim says there's almost 2,400 orders at 45.97. That's huge. That smacks of spoofing. Spoofing is when the market flashes these orders on the above the bid and ask. You've no doubt seen the trading dome. All right, so there's the inventory release. The report made a quick little move lower. And the Geiger counter currently buried here in the needle in the red. Working a trend change signal. So we've got some warning dots. We can anticipate that the signal will print, and it will actually print pretty much right here where our entry is already at. Of course, crude oil being crude oil, it would not be unlike this market to reverse the initial breakout and head higher. So once the OCO order fills, you will see the other order disappear, which is what you would anticipate from an OCO order. And we should get our automated stop. We won't have an auto profit target with the OCO function. Oh, shoot, what happened there? Let's try that again. So we've got our short position, we've got our auto stop, and let's see if we get a little follow through here now. You can always manually set a profit target. Let's say you wanted to take profit at the next, oops, sorry, that's what I did wrong. I had to turn the OCO off. Sorry about that, 1 second. So let's say we want a profit target down here at the next support line. So we'll set that up like so. And as I mentioned before, these orders are live once they're live, you can move them around. So, but as long as my stop is enabled, the trade manager will always move it to the selected stop strategy. And let's see, where's the chandelier at? Okay, so if I want something a little more conservative, I can change my strategies midstream, if you will. Wow, they're really beating up on this secondary support line. Come on, get down there. A lot of volume coming through here, as you might well anticipate. Not liking to see that Geiger counter keep pulling there to the buy side. Come on, get down there. There we go, come on. No, shoot, get away from the buy side of the dial. Alright, our needle's turned a little bearish. You see it's gone a little red. Uh-oh, a little neutral again. There we go. That's what I want to see. I want to see that dial pull hard here to the short side and stick. Come on, get down there. Oh no, it's a pretty even fight right now. All around this 45.50 area-ish. 45.50, 54 technically is the support line. But remember, these support and resistance lines are forecast, so you have to allow them a tick or two. Consider them more zones than absolutes. Although it amazes me sometimes how the market hits them right on the number. Come on down. There we go. Oh, shoot. Every time the Geiger counter pulls hard to the short side, there we go. All right, it's getting a little more bearish. There we go. That's what I want to see. Chew through those orders. No, no, don't let the buyers come back. Oh, they are too. See how we had this block of selling go through? The buyers were a little light, but if we don't get a follow through on this block of selling, that tells me that the buyers absorbed all that buying pressure and that the market will actually reverse and head higher. So if I wanted, I could start to bring my stops in more aggressively. I could go with something like maybe a parabolic strategy. Keep my stops really, really tight. Oh, there we go. That's what I want to see. Look at it pull hard now to the short side. And of course, lower crude oil prices means that we're all going to enjoy lower prices at the gas pumps as well. Oh my gosh, I'm funny sometimes. No, they keep bouncing back. We've got this nice selling spike through here, but haven't seen the subsequent follow through yet. Come on, you guys. Come on. Normally, when we break the primary support or primary resistance, we can anticipate that the market's going to move two zones. So it currently moves one zone. It owes me one more zone. It should move down here, test the 4520 area. But they're taking their time. Come on. There we go. See, look at all this selling. My goodness, the sellers are pouring it on. And so far, it's lopsided. You see the sellers really outweighing the buyers. And yet, the market is reluctant to follow through. Okay, I'm going to force the trade to break even. I have this break even button. There we go. And of course, you know, don't be shy about taking the profit either. There's $130, $140 sitting there on the ground, if you will. You're walking down the street, you see a $100 bill. Do you stop and pick it up? Yes, close. Yeah, we're getting a lot more buying coming in now. I think we're going to see a little bit of an uptick here. We'll try to ride this out for the sake of the trading room. With the break-even function, currently I'm set at break-even plus one tick, but I can set as many ticks as I want, or I can even set negative ticks. And you can preset this value as well, so it's all automated. Come on, there we go. We're getting some more selling coming in here. We may just luck out here. You know, we got a little bit of a buying spike, and they certainly overwhelmed the sellers. You can see the sellers not nearly enough. That's odd, Jim. Jim says my Geiger is the inverse of yours, running the same tick. Yeah, the Geiger counter doesn't really run off of brick size or anything like that. It runs off the actual order flow. So unless you've got a restrictor on your order flow to only highlight maybe the blocks or something, they should read the same. By the way, folks, this is the reason I tend to put one tool per chart. Like even though these are all standalones, like the Geiger counter, the support and resistance lines, I can put them on each of the charts if I wanted. It just gets a little bit busy. So that's why I've got my support and resistance lines on my Falcon. I've got the Geiger counter down here on the Raptor. I've got a tool called the Day Ranger here on the Hawk, and another standalone add-on tool here called the Trade Forecaster on the Eagle. But you could put them all on each chart if you wanted. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. Getting some buy warning dots down here, so there's a lot of buying pressure coming through. And now we're seeing some active selling, which is what we want. Come on, get down there now. Get to my profit target. I'm going to squeeze this trade a little harder. I'm going to go in with my bar high-low strategy. It's one of the more aggressive stop strategies. Just try to lock in a little bit more open profit so I don't take a full-on reversal. Come on, get down there, you stinkers. No, gonna get tapped here in a moment. Oh, look at the sellers. I'm not the only one thinking this is a spot to dig in. Did you see how the Geiger counter was pulled hard here to the short side, and see how it's holding? Oh my gosh, the sellers are throwing everything they can at the buyers, trying to hold the 45-40 area. Oh, all right. So they tapped me on the stop out, but that's okay. It was a decent little trade all the same. Not as eventful as many crude inventory reports, but yeah, profit's a profit. All right, so that was the OCO function. Let's see, did we miss anything in the NQ while we were watching that? No, not really. Actually, we got a cloud crossover signal here on the Raptor. Tough to take when it was developing because the band is still so twisted. It's this signal right here. Let's see, did we get something here in the Falcon? Yes, we got another trend change signal right here. Oh, and we're getting a macro pullback here in the Hawk. Now, I've been showing you a lot of Hawk signals here this morning. It stands to reason, though, when the market's like this, we're going to get a few more scalp signals, perhaps. So the macro pullback signal, easy to identify because everything stays in sync except the micro line. So we've got red bars, red macro line, red filter, red signal, but a green micro line. This may well develop into a 4-arrow consolidation as well. Just given how timid the market seems to be. And now that one goes into yellow bars. Right, so 1, 2, 3. I will take a 4-arrow consolidation off of the yellow bar, but that's the only one. The 4-arrow consolidation is that strong that, yes, you can take a yellow bar off of it. And the way the market is trading today, it's pretty much demanding big stops from us. All right, 1, 2, 3 signals. We'll see if we print a 4th signal here. That will be our 4-arrow consolidation. So I'm going to wait for that 4th warning dot. Possible late filter entry signal developing here on the Falcon. And we'll see if we get a hard edge bounce here on the Eagle and or Raptor. But not a lot of opportunities this morning. But that's the market, not the tools, right? I'd rather have the tools, be accurate, keep me out of bad trades, than just generating a bunch of signals that aren't going anywhere. There's less expensive hobbies. Things are likely to, I was going to say they're likely to shake up in the afternoon, but maybe not. Maybe we're just going to have another sideways day. That seems to be the theme of late. Even soybeans kind of waffling a little back and forth. Here's soybeans on the Eagle, still within this previous trading range. Soybeans very, very bearish yesterday. Nice little move there out of the open. Never looked back. And then the day before, very, very sideways again. So it's almost as though the market is alternating. Well, used to give you a couple good rally days, and then you would have a sideways day. Now it seems if you have one rally day, you can count on the next day being a sideways day. And the way it's been for the month of August, if you get one rally day, the next 2 or 3 days are sideways days. Painful. But there's nothing we can do about it, so quit your griping, Eric. All right, so 1, 2, 3 signals. We're producing another warning dot. I know when the signal prints, I know the hash mark is going to print down there at 47.66 I'll place my stops a little bit further back just because we're going to need the elbow room. This is not a bad looking 4-arrow consolidation. It's a little bit short. Normally we see a much more pronounced trend going into a 4-arrow consolidation, but it does have a bear flag flavor, which is what we would like to see. But for the most part, not much going on here. Okay, our 4-arrow consolidation now working into a green bar sell. This is a little trickier, and you could do this a couple of ways. First off, you could just short the green bar sell signal. And I'll show you that, but let me show you the safer thing to do. There's two alternatives. You can run your trend line and short below the trend line, or if this green bar sell signal comes back, you can look to buy above the green bar sell. Both those scenarios a little bit more predictable than the one I'm going to attempt. We should see one more push lower. We really should. All right, here they come. Oh, they didn't slip us. How nice. Okay, so this is our 4-arrow consolidation pattern. Looking for just a short-term follow-through. Steve says I'm falling asleep. I hear you, Steve. Oh my gosh, it's like, why did I get out of bed this morning? I could have slept in. Considerable support around this whole 47, 65, 66 region. I think that coincides with our, yes it does. Our primary support here at 47.67. And we're kind of balanced right on that line at the moment. Come on down. You know you want to. Let's go. Peter says crude oil still tracking lower, and it is too, Peter. Thanks for pointing that out. We did get follow-up signals here on crude. So here on the Falcon, this was our trend change signal. So they've since hit the bottom of the second zone. So perhaps I was a little bit too aggressive with my stop there. And here's crude oil now on the hawk. Nice little first micro-macro cross signal. Now this one developed just as the inventory report was released, so in all honesty, you would have had a hard time getting a hold of that one. But here too, you could have bracketed the range, which sometimes is the best strategy to do on crude inventory. At least then you have an order waiting. And here on the Eagle, Oh, I didn't even notice that before. In the wee hours this morning, we had a green bar sell signal right off of the hard edge. That's textbook right there, folks. So the Eagle Trend Trader actually forecasting that crude oil prices were going to head lower today before the inventory report even came out. Now that would have been a tough little one to bracket, but still, very tidy little move there. Oh my goodness. All right, come on down. Come on. There we go. We're getting the action now. Come on, take out the... If we hit the 47.66, that's where I've got my break even. I'll leave the auto break even in just so you can see how it works. There we go. Here we go. Come on down. Oh my gosh. They're stuck at 47.66 half. I can't believe they keep bouncing on that. Get down there, you stinkers. What a balanced market, my goodness. Come on, you know you want to. Here we go. All right, so we hit the auto break even. You see it took my stops from up there, rolled it to break even. And now we're just a couple of ticks from our profit target. There we go. Come on. Come on. One tick. Oh my gosh. Oh, you stinkers. Well, it is going to head a little bit lower here. It does owe me a retest of this low and our support and resistance line as well. So, I don't know. I was going to say 47.59 half. That seems like a long ways away right now, doesn't it? I do believe that's near yesterday's lows. Okay, we're going to close up the trading room here in a few moments. So if anybody has any questions, please type away. Otherwise, oh, you stinkers. Came back and tapped me at break even on that one. Well, break even plus one, so at least the broker gets paid. All right, we're going to pack things up then. Thank you very much for your attendance this morning. I'm sorry that there wasn't good activity to show you, but at least I think you got to see how some of the tools work, how the signal generation works, how some of these standalone tools work, like the Geiger counter and the support and resistance suite. A reminder that until tonight, you can receive 20% off any of these tools at Indicator Warehouse by entering the promo code SCHOOL in all caps. All right, so I send that off to you, and I sent you the information to the Indicator Warehouse website. All right, DTS owners, I'll see you in the trading room tomorrow morning, and we will be having another open house next Wednesday. If you would care to join us, that would be wonderful, and hopefully the market will be a little bit more cooperative at that time. Have yourselves a wonderful day, and we'll talk to you later. Bye for now.